Trust Once Lost, Chapter 41, Part 2.
Mrs. Rich, you need to stop playing games with me,
Dayglow said, the anger seething inside of her.
Your daughter has been seriously injured by you, and you're not taking this seriously. Oh, a serious injury?
Spoiled rolled her eyes.
What are you talking about, a tiny cut? It hardly counts as a serious injury. Dr. Redcross says it's bad enough she'll likely need stitches.
For the first time in the conversation, Spoiled seemed to pay attention.
Will she have a scar? It's certainly possible,
Dayglow replied, using all the power she could muster to keep her temper under control.
What were you doing when your daughter jumped into your hoof? It was an accident. I was trying to hit that brat green and missed. I didn't mean to hit Diamond Tiara.
Spoiled insisted.
What? You...
Dayglow struggled for words.
You injured your own daughter while you were trying to beat some pony else's? She spat on me.
Spoiled snarled.
I was going to discipline her, but Diamond jumped into my hoof. So I accidentally hit her instead. It was an honest mistake and she's fine. Mrs. Rich, hitting any pony, let alone a child, is not acceptable. What you've admitted to is considered child abuse. Do you understand the seriousness of the situation? Green is just an orphan who doesn't know her place,
Spoiled stated with a sneer, as if she were justifying her actions.
An orphan?
Dayglow repeated, struggling to hide her shock. This whole conversation was going in a direction that she hadn't anticipated.
Green is an 8-year-old filly who is under my duty of care. I don't care what she said to you. She is the victim in the situation. And you put her in the hospital. And Diamond Tiara is not fine. She has a gash on her forehead that may need stitches. There is no universe where this is all okay.
Spoiled smirked.
I don't have to listen to you, Dayglow. You are nothing. My family has given enough money to this hospital to make you irrelevant. Mrs. Rich.
Dayglow glared.
Do you have any idea what you are saying? I have a responsibility as a social worker to protect children. Do you honestly think that any amount of money can protect you from the consequences of assaulting a young filly? Breaking her leg just because she said something you didn't like? I will report this. You could lose custody of Diamond Tiara. You may even go to prison. Oh, come on.
Spoiled scoffed.
There was no way I twisted her hoof hard enough to break it. It's the same leg she broke 2 weeks ago,
Dayglow corrected.
Did you know that? How was I supposed to know?
Spoiled asked, looking confused yet defiant, as if this was somehow more offensive than breaking a child's leg.
It doesn't matter if you knew,
said Dayglow.
The point is, you broke her leg, and then you tried to hit her again. You injured your own daughter, and now you don't seem to care at all. Am I right, Miss Rich? I don't have to take this from you, Dayglow. I've got better things to do. I'll be taking my daughter home. If you want to talk to me, you can contact me through my lawyer. I don't have time for this nonsense. Goodbye.
Dayglow watched as Spoiled stood up and turned towards the door.
Mrs. Rich, you are free to leave if you like,
Dayglow ordered.
But your daughter will be staying. I'm taking her into protective custody until I complete my investigation. If you try to interfere in any way, security will escort you out of the hospital. Is that understood?
Spoiled paused and turned back around.
Fine. But you won't get anywhere with this, you know that? Don't you?
Spoiled asked, her tone mocking.
If you're about to tell me how powerful your friends are, you can skip it,
Dayglow said.
I'd stick my neck out for any child that needs my help. But in this case, I'll give you fair warning. The last time Green was in the hospital, Princess Luna came to check on her personally.
Spoiled's smug expression faltered at Dayglow's words.
I don't believe you,
Spoiled said, but her voice lacked conviction.
It doesn't matter if you believe me or not,
Dayglow replied calmly.
The fact remains that I have the support of Princess Luna, and she will not tolerate any abuse towards children. So, if you think you can bully me or intimidate me with your connections, you are very much mistaken.
Spoiled scowled at Dayglow, but she didn't say anything else. She stormed out of the room, leaving Dayglow and Diamond Tiara behind. Dayglow sighed and looked at Diamond Tiara, who was staring at the floor.
Are you okay, sweetie?
Dayglow asked gently. Diamond Tiara nodded, but didn't say anything.
I know this is hard, but I promise you, you're safe now.
Dayglow said.
I'm gonna take care of you and make sure that nothing like this ever happens again. And if you ever want to talk about anything, I'm here to listen.
Diamond Tiara nodded again, still not speaking. Dayglow gave her a gentle hug.
Everything is gonna be alright. I promise.
After Spoiled left, Dayglow called for security to keep an eye on her and to make sure she didn't try to interfere with Diamond Tiara's care. I could hear Dayglow and Spoiled talking through the wall. As I sat on the hospital bed, I couldn't help but feel guilty for what had happened. If only I had de-escalated the situation, none of this would have happened. But I was so angry at Spoiled for being a bully. I said things I shouldn't have. I provoked her into attacking me. It was my fault. I should have known better. I did know better, and I had the training certifications to prove it. But in the moments, I couldn't control myself. I wanted to apologize to Diamond Tiara, but I was too embarrassed to face her after what had happened. I had pretty much ruined her life, just when she was getting it on track. How could she forgive me? What could I possibly say? My heart felt heavy in my chest. I heard hoofsteps approaching and saw a white unicorn stallion walk into the room. He wore a white coat and carried a clipboard in one hoof. Hi there, Green. I'm Dr. Red Cross. You might not remember me, but we've met before, he said cheerfully. How are you feeling?
I'm sorry,
I said. Red Cross smiled sympathetically. Don't worry about it, Green. Accidents happen. Just rest easy. We'll take good care of you.
It wasn't an accident.
I said quietly.
I meant to do it.
Meant to do what? Asked Red Cross. What's that supposed to mean?
I meant to goad Spoil into hitting me.
I explained.
She was being a bully, so I made her angry enough to hit me. I wanted her to get into trouble.
Red Cross raised his eyebrows. So you intentionally try to provoke her?
Yes,
I admitted. That's unusual behavior, Red Cross said slowly. What gave you the idea to do that? I struggled to come up with an answer.
I don't know.
I lied. I see, Red Cross said thoughtfully. Have you done something like this before?
No.
I answered truthfully. Red Cross nodded. I need you to understand that what Spoil did is not your fault. She is the one who attacked you, and she is the one who deserves to be punished for it. No pony forced her to respond the way she did. I sighed.
But I shouldn't have done it.
You couldn't have known, said Red Cross.
I should have de-escalated the situation.
I said.
I should have just ignored her insults and been the bigger pony.
There's no shame in standing up for yourself, said Red Cross. And you did the right thing. Now, I'm going to take a look at your foreleg. He grabbed my leg and pain shot through my body as he examined my injury. He muttered. This isn't healing well. Looks like you may have displaced it. We may have to reset it so that it heals correctly.
Okay.
I said.
Are you going to do it here?
Well, since you've had an internal fixation, it's a bit more complicated, Dr. Red Cross explained. I'll prescribe something to help with the pain. You'll have some x-rays done, and then we'll call in Dr. Stone to do the realignments, since he's the surgeon that worked on your leg before.
That makes sense,
I said. Does it? Red Cross asked, raising an eyebrow. The nurses told me you were a clever little filly. Do you know what an internal fixation is? I closed my eyes against the growing headache.
Yeah,
I replied.
It's a type of surgery where they fix broken bones inside of your body so that the bone can heal correctly. The bone gets fixed by screwing metal rods into the bone itself.
Correct, said Red Cross thoughtfully. But why is that important?
Just answer the questions and then he'll go away. Because there's extra hardware inside my leg now.
I answered.
So it's not as simple as setting a bone from a simple fracture anymore. Even if you could have a go at setting it, you wouldn't want to mess with another doctor's work if you could help it.
Red Cross nodded, impressed. Exactly. Internal fixation can make things a bit more complicated, and we have to be careful not to displace any of the hardware. Dr. Red Cross frowned, looking around the room. He picked up a blood pressure cuff. All right, he challenged. What's this for? I tried not to show any irritation at being grilled like this.
That's a blood pressure cuff.
I replied.
It's used to measure the blood pressure in a patient's leg by inflating the cuff and measuring the pressure at which the blood flow is blocked.
My head pounded.
Maybe if I answer as completely as possible, he won't keep asking follow-up questions.
That's right. Dr. Red Cross nodded. What's the normal range for a blood pressure?
The normal range depends on the patient.
I replied.
I don't know the protocol in this hospital.
But let's pretend you're a nurse, though. Red Cross continued. At what point would you call me?
Why won't he just be quiet?
I wanted to scream.
If the patient's MAP was below 65 or their systolic was above 180, I would be very concerned.
I explained.
But again, I don't know what the protocol is in this hospital.
Red Cross was looking increasingly perplexed. He took a moment to think. If a patient had low serum phosphates and I asked you to administer a bolus of K-Phos, what would you do? Red Cross asked. A shiver ran down my spine.
I'd tell you to rethink that order before you kill some pony.
I answered.
You can't give K-Phos as a bolus, you'll stop their heart.
And? Red Cross prompted.
And why are you ordering K-Phos for hypophosphatemia unless there's something else going on?
I grumbled.
Doctor, I have a migraine, okay? You can test me later, I can't even see straight.
Sorry, said Red Cross. I'll get you something for the pain, okay? Hang in there. That is very true. As soon as someone hears about another person knowing the exact same thing, they just want to pick their brain at it until they die. Anywho, let's get on to our smarties of donators. Top donators: Jessie Smith, Star 630, BadassWaffle, Onlyonething, Ceru, Orion, and Caladis. Matchfic, JockeTF, Luciisu, Rayden, Narwhals, Blackmoonheart, Pastel, Skies, Alston, Roland, Starbrother, Marjorie, Nomicon, Library, Moonscythe, Will, Chris, Twinkie, Rice, Shadow Moon, Luigi, Chancellor Crust, Big Smoke, Bobcat, Murder Princess, Jet, Little Mighty, Solar Symphony, and many more amazing people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and live life to the fullest.